The most successful people in this world are the ones who are able to stay committed to their goals, even when they do not feel like it. They have what Jordan Peterson calls the discipline code. In his book, 12 Rules for Life, he shares some really powerful lessons about how we can improve our lives by taking control of our actions. And today I want to share with you one of those rules. It's rule no. 2. He says, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. In other words, if your inner 10-year-old was sitting right here listening to me, what would you tell that person? What kind of advice would you give to them? Because sometimes we tend to be too hard on ourselves, and we forget that we are our own best friends. We're supposed to be our own heroes. So if you were talking to a child, how would you talk to yourself? That is the question. And let's be honest, we all know the things we need to do, but we don't do them. You and I both know how to live a healthy lifestyle, eat better, exercise more, read more books, be kinder to others, but we don't do these things. Why not? Well, according to Jordan Peterson, it's because we don't treat ourselves like someone we are responsible for helping. In fact, I believe that one of the biggest problems in our generation, the reason why so many of us struggle with procrastination and staying committed to our goals, is because we've been programmed to put everyone else's needs ahead of our own. Think about it. Since we were little kids, we've been told to do things like this. Don't be selfish. Think about others. But when we've been suppressing our wants and needs for so long, it becomes ingrained into our subconscious mind that we can't think about ourselves. If we do, we are selfish. But here's the thing, there is nothing wrong with thinking about yourself. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You can't take care of anyone else if you're not taking care of yourself first. The oxygen mask analogy is a good example of this. When you're on an airplane and they tell you to put on the oxygen mask, what do? You put the mask on yourself before you help the person next to you. Why? Because if you don't put the mask on yourself first, you will pass out and be no use to anybody. Same thing applies to life. You can't help anyone else if you're not helping yourself first. So, here's my challenge for you today. For the next week, pretend that you are responsible for helping someone else. Pretend that you are that person's guardian, their coach, their best friend. Now, why do I want you to do this? Because when you're helping someone else, you take on a different mindset. You become selfless. You think of their needs instead of your own, and you try to see things from their perspective. So if you pretend to be someone else's guardian, their coach, their best friend, then the next time you feel like giving up on something, or you feel like doing something that is not aligned with your goals, ask yourself, will this decision help the person I am pretending to be responsible for? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. For example, one of my goals this year is to read more books. I love reading books, but lately I haven't been doing it as much as I want to. So now every time I feel like I should be reading but I'm not, I pretend that I am responsible for helping a 10-year-old kid who also loves reading books. Now when I ask myself, would buying this new pair of shoes help the 10-year-old kid I am responsible for? The answer is obviously no. So therefore, I don't buy the shoes. I stick to my goal. Here's another example. Let's say you want to lose weight and get in shape. So you start working out, but after a few days, you feel like skipping the gym and just relaxing at home. So now ask yourself, would skipping the gym and going straight home help the person I am responsible for? Obviously, the answer is no. So you go to the gym. Here's another example. Let's say you want to make more money, so you start learning a new skill. But then, after a few weeks, you feel bored and you want to quit. So ask yourself, will quitting this course help the person I am responsible for? Obviously, the answer is no. So you keep learning the new skill. Now here's the beautiful thing about this. When you pretend that you are responsible for helping someone else, you actually end up helping yourself. Think about it. When you're taking care of a child, a pet, a plant, what happens? You automatically take better care of yourself because you know that you are responsible for helping these other living beings. You can't just sit around and do nothing. This is the same thing. When you pretend that you are responsible for helping someone else, you take on a different mindset. You become selfless. You think of their needs instead of your own, and you try to see things from their perspective. So when you're feeling down or you feel like giving up, you ask yourself, what would I tell this person? What would I tell my 10-year-old self? What would I tell my best friend? What would I tell the person I love? And the answers you come up with will guide you to do what is right. In fact, I challenge you to write down these questions right now. Write down What would I tell my 10-year-old self? What would I tell my best friend? What would I tell the person I love? Write down the answers. Meditate on them. Let them sink in. The more you think about how your actions affect the people around you, the more motivated you will be to do the right thing. Look, I know this might seem like a silly concept, but trust me, it works. I've been using it for years. And it is one of the main reasons why I am so disciplined today. I know that I have a responsibility to myself, to my family, to my friends, to my viewers, to my subscribers, and I take that responsibility very seriously. This is why I don't post any videos that are not helpful. This is why I don't waste your time. This is why I always try to bring my best self to this channel. I know that I am responsible for helping someone else. We all know that life is tough. There are going to be times when you feel like giving up. There are going to be times when you feel like you're not making any progress. There are going to be times when you feel like you're all alone. But if you have someone who is depending on you, someone who looks up to you, someone who loves you, you will never give up. You will never quit. You will push through the tough times because you know that you are responsible for helping someone else. So, I want you to think about the person you are responsible for helping. Who is that person? What would that person do if they were in your shoes? What would that person tell you if you were feeling down? What would that person tell you if you were about to give up? Once you figure that out, I promise you, you will never give up. You will never quit. I hope this video has inspired you to be a little bit better, to be a little bit more disciplined. And if you liked the video, please hit the like button because it helps me grow this channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.